Tchaikovsky was born in a small provincial town in Russia year 1840. Ilyich Tchaikovsky and Alexandra Tchaikovsky is Peter's parent. At the age of 6, Peter is already happy playing music, especially the music of Mozart who he idolized. Peter is so obsessed with music, that's why his mother is worried about his health. One day, a new French government was introduced to their household and she was Mademoiselle, and it's her job to check Peter's health.
Peter, you should not spend so much time in playing piano.
But that's what I like to do, Mademoiselle.
No, because we have a visitor, Major Mishevsky, who's coming to visit your parents.
Major Jesebel.
Yes, so let's go.
Peter is so excited to meet Major Mishevsky. Major Mishevsky was a pianist of some renown, and pleasing him, receiving his approval was a pressing need for the boy.
Your parents are not that bitter at your age.
Thank you, sir.
Someday, Peter, you will be a great pianist, greater than Jesebel.
Peter, time to
But sometimes, Peter can't sleep because of music kept on throbbing in his head until it was almost painful for him.
Here, I'll read you a story all about the sleeping beauty. Once upon a time,
But the story wasn't enough to make him sleep at all. On the contrary, it stimulated his musical imagination, and slowly the little fairy tale was taking melodic shape in the boy's mind.
it's no use of with you in the fresh air and no more piano until you do.
But even if Mademoiselle didn't let him play, the melody of the music keeps on playing in Peter's mind. The march of a mighty procession moving towards the king's castle to hail the birth of Princess Aurora. And as the time passed, he was allowed to play again to his heart's content. But contentment was never to be Peter's fate for long. Soon, he was about to suffer the heaviest blow of his young life. His parents decided to prepare him for a government career at the school in
But
St.
I don't want to
Petersburg.
go to school. I want to go back home with you.
Be a good boy, Peter. Study hard. I know I will be proud of you someday.
And after that, Peter never saw his mother again. A blow so crushing that his musical genuine withdrew deep inside of him. It went to sleep like Sleeping Beauty. In the fairy tale, and strange to say, like Sleeping Beauty, it was to stay dormant for a long time, for something wonderful happened to awaken again. 17 years later, inside the gloomy imperial ministry of justice at St. Petersburg, Peter Tchaikovsky is now 23. Toiled as a lowly traffic clerk, a light had gone out of him. The divine light of music was felt empty and oppressed his life. It was such an occasion that he first met the great Pastor Rubinstein.
You have a talent, young man. But why this prepared Master Ostinato? Why not like this? Well,
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time, sir.
you're going to make music your career.
Better, I have dreamed of it, maestro. But I have to earn my bread.
Bread? Did Mozart will open the bread? For musical artists is mostly willing to starve.
But those men of genius, maestro. I'm not even sure I have talent.
You do the word of ancient of Rubinstein, but way of really composing variation, not only quality or quality counts. Here, find out the theme and give me tomorrow.
Peter worked all night without let up, and next morning at the office he kept on writing down the never-ending stream of musical ideas, that clamor of expression.
What is it? Can you say I'm busy?
But maestro, the variation you gave me a test yesterday, remember?
Well, yeah, just put them down here. I look them over later.
Yes, sir.
The number of 215. 215? Impossible. Mr. Tchaikovsky. You wrote all this since yesterday?
Well, you said quantity counts matter, so I wrote them all.
Well, I expected about dozen, but this.
Oh, they are very bad.
But not all, in fact, some of them are quite good. Rubinstein is always right. You have a talent, Tchaikovsky. Would you put yourself into my hands?
I would, sir. As a matter of fact, I have no choice. I quit my position with the government. They caught me of writing those.
Then you are willing to start on music. That's good.
But the full awakening of Peter's musical genuine came the day an Italian opera company arrived. It was not so much because of the opera, but because of a certain beautiful prima donna, Desiree Otto. Peter was in love. He knew that all the eligible male of St. Petersburg were at the feet of the divine soprano.
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm Peter Tchaikovsky. Nice to meet you.
The young composer, what a lovely song. That's the most beautiful gift I've ever received.
I wrote it for you, mademoiselle.
You are a poet in word, Mr. Tchaikovsky. How can I ever thank you for dedicating your song to me?
Sing it for me.
A flood of melodies now poured from his busy pen, and soon Peter and Desiree were engaged to be married. Secretly, he went to a work on an opera. It was to be a surprise gift for his beloved.
Letter for you, Mr. Tchaikovsky.
Peter was hurt because of that letter, and he vowed that he would never write another note for music. Time had healed the wound in his heart. Peter had even grown a beard to dignify his status as a composer. Time had healed the wound in his heart. Peter had even grown a beard to dignify his status as a composer. In place of the lost Desiree, a new love had taken over the ballet. It was an art ideal suited to students' talent. His first ballet was called Swan Lake, and Peter had great hopes for its success. The audience was dead. This fresh new voice in the realm of music, Swan Lake, was a dismal failure. Peter had always been helpless in the face of disapproval, and now he wanted to run away, flee the oppressive atmosphere of criticism and the misunderstanding. He decided to go on a long trip. Someone sent him a story, idea for another ballet. He didn't realize then that the peace of his mind was in this manuscript and not in his desperate life. Peter found no solace in the capitals of Europe. He was blind to the sight and heard only the nagging voice of his critic. Peter found no solace in the capitals of Europe. He was blind to the sight and heard only the nagging voice of his critic. At Naples, Peter took a steamer of the voyage home, and one stormy night he had a strange dream. All through the long journey, Peter had suppressed the music that was crying in his soul, but his strange dream had broken the day in a mighty rush. The pent-up melodies, even those he had composed as a little boy, burst forth into the open. And so Peter forgot all about this doll, about his past failure and defeat. And before he reached home, the entire score of Sleeping Beauty was completed. As this time, his creation was headed for the bright future that was in store in all his wonderful work.